Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics pull off a highway robbery when it comes to drafting pick number 30, Baylor Scheierman? I personally think yes, so I'm going to break that down here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports because not enough people are talking about this NBA rookie, and although he may not have the biggest role on the Boston Celtics roster this upcoming season, I think a lot of teams slept on him, and I am so glad the Celtics picked Scheierman. But before I hop into that, we are again in a August subscriber battle with none other than Nick Roloff and the Heat Report here at Chat Sports. If you guys Rolly, if you guys just want to beat Rolly in this subscriber battle, we have 241 loyal subscribers so far in the month of August, but he has 286. Can we get to 300 subs by the end of August and beat Nick Roloff? As always, Rolly and hit that sub button for me. So let's talk about what Baylor Scheierman's going to look like here on the Boston Celtics, because coming in at a 23-year-old, he's a little bit younger, but that's okay because he's got a lot of experience as well, and he's actually even older than Jordan Walsh, who played 1 year of college basketball, then they drafted him. So they took their time with these draft picks. But you're coming in at 6'6", which is Jaylen Brown's height, 205 pounds. He played at Creighton, and last year he averaged 18.5 points, 4 assists, 9 boards, and he shot 38% from the three-point line, which I know for a fact Joe Mazzulla and Brad Stevens loved looking at that stat from a 6'6" forward in the NBA draft scouting report. So, nonetheless, when you look at the Boston Celtics roster, yeah, they have a 15th roster spot open, but you got to look at what they're not bringing back. That's only one player. 2 if you count Svi Mykhailiuk, who's now playing for Utah, but I'm talking about Oshae Brissett. Oshae Brissett, he averaged about 10 minutes per game last year, and now he's looking at NBA free agency because he wants more minutes. Well, those minutes would be beautiful for a rookie on the best team in the league. If you give him 10 minutes per game, he'll write you a thank you card at the end of the season. And I think he can actually fill in the shoes for Oshae Brissett pretty well. You saw the rebounds, you saw the three-point shooting, you saw the height. Why shouldn't Baylor Scheierman be able to help the Boston Celtics for about 10 minutes a game this season? And when you ask Brad Stevens, why Scheierman? What did you see in him? Here's what Brad Stevens had to say about his pick number 30. He said he's done a good job with his body. He had done a good job in the weight room, and he's always been super skilled, super smart, super tough. Like he's a basketball player right now. He knows how to play. So I think that getting his body to the level that it's been the last couple of years and the way that that's translated to his performances in the Big East is not a surprise because he's just got a lot of good things going for him. And the way that Brad Stevens works is that he finds players that has potential. He won't play for a while. He may not even play for half this season. We're not sure what his role is going to look like, but you remember when Brad Stevens extended Peyton Pritchard before the 2023-24 NBA season? I'm thinking, ooh, that's a lot of money to give a player you really haven't seen his full potential from yet. Boom. He unlocks that full potential this year. That's why Brad Stevens picking a player with potential is the best thing you can have coming into the NBA. He is going to figure out his weaknesses and turn them into strengths. And I'm glad Brad Stevens saw it because the NBA, unfortunately, doesn't see what we see. 2K25 came out with their top-rated rookies, and this is the back half, so obviously no Alex Saw or anything like that, but you can see Pacome Dadier, number 69, who I thought the Celtics were going to draft. He went to the New York Knicks, and then you see Baylor Scheierman, got the same level, same score right there, 69 with Pacome Dadier. I'm not mad about the score they gave Baylor at all. I'm mad about the score they gave Bronny James. You're telling me Bronny James is the same ball player as Anton Watson and Baylor Scheierman? 1 point difference? I don't like that because I don't think Bronny James is where the Baylor Scheierman level is right now. I think Bronny James has a lot of potential. I really do. But I have seen more potential from Baylor Scheierman in Summer League than I could have gotten from somebody like a Bronny James, which is honestly okay with me that they gave him this rating because that gives me more of a chip on my shoulder to tell everybody, I told you so, when Baylor Scheierman starts to become a headline of the Boston Celtics did it again. Brad Stevens, President 2024. I'm putting him on the ballot. If you think I'm lying, I'll take a picture of it. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not voting for Harris. I'm voting for Brad Stevens because he's a genius. And I'm going to talk about how Scheierman is going to shock the NBA and how Brad Stevens is going to justify his rationale decision. So before I hop into that, I do want to tell you guys real quick about our sponsor here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I want to tell you guys about PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. When I tell you I check PrizePicks every single day like the weather app, I'm not lying. PrizePicks offers the most fun way to test your skills this upcoming NFL, NBA season, even currently during the WNBA season, the MLB. So if you guys want to go on ahead and test your skills, all you have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000. So if you guys are looking for a good way to test your skills this summer, I highly suggest going on ahead, downloading the PrizePicks app. All you have to do is use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100, and you get to watch the winnings roll in. I have won over 25 entries on PrizePicks, over $600 while playing this app. I love testing my skills. I do it every single day, primarily on Tuesdays and Fridays. Why? Because Tuesdays is always Taco Tuesday. Get a nice little discount on a player's projected stats. And then on Fridays, you win or you get your money back. That's why they call it Flex Fridays. So one more time, if you guys want to go play along with 5 million other PrizePicks users, go on ahead, download the PrizePicks app, use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, run your game. One more time, that's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Taking it back to Summer League. What did Baylor Scheierman do? He struggled. He struggled a little bit when it came to the three-point shooting. He had some woes, took a lot more shots than he had made baskets, but, there's a lot of jitters. He's starting to get his footwork. He's learning a new system, so I'm fine with the field goal percentage and the three-point percentage being as low as they were. The rebounds are still stellar. 5.5 rebounds, about 11 points per game, so still averaging double digits in scoring is totally good with me over the course of 5 games, but he's known to be a dominant player. Coming from Creighton, which is a good basketball school, but it's not a powerhouse, it's not a Duke, it's not a Kentucky, but Creighton made a name with Baylor Scheierman. First team All-Big East, third team All-American, and he was a Summit League Player of the Year in 2023. So Scheierman was no doubt one of the better players on this Creighton roster. Like I said, almost averaging 20 points per game and 10 rebounds. He was clearly nearly the double-double king. But when you're adding a player like 200 pounds and 6'6" to the rest of the Boston Celtics roster, he fits in seamlessly. I don't want to call him a plug-and-play guy, but maybe when it comes to body types, absolutely. When you look at the Boston Celtics forwards, you got Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Sam Hauser, with Tatum and Hauser actually being on the taller side, standing about 6'8", 6'9". Then you got Xavier Tillman, a little bit of a stockier guy, resembles more of an Al Horford type of build. But then Baylor Scheierman, he fits right in with the Celtics mold. Not to mention, he's a lefty catch-and-shoot three-point god. Know who else is? Sam Hauser, but he does it with his right hand. They have replicated Sam Hauser and turned him into a lefty and made him a few years younger. Brad Stevens knows what he's doing. And as a role player, I do think that he can fill O'Shea Brissett's shoes, which would be good for the Boston Celtics bench. Like I said, you're not getting a starter. You're really not even getting a dominant role player. What you're getting is a garbage time rookie that I think if you were to give him upwards of 10 minutes per game, he's going to improve so much in this next year. Maybe in the next few years, he's going to start to be a really good basketball player. I think if Peyton Pritchard had played for any other head coach, under any other GM, you wouldn't have seen how great he could be. But because they've allowed him to flourish, you've now got a really good two-way point guard as your backup behind Jrue Holiday, which is what I think Baylor Scheierman can be moving forward behind somebody like Sam Hauser. So overall, I think Brad Stevens won the draft. Getting a guy like Baylor Scheierman at pick number 30 is unheard of. And Brad Stevens, does it again. And if Stevens decides to make any other genius moves, we're going to talk about it right here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. So if you guys want to be a part of that, if you guys want to help us beat the Heat report throughout the month of August is almost over. So I need you guys to go ahead, hit that sub button for me, and help us beat Nick Roloff and the Heat report in our August subscriber battle.